What's up, you guys? Today we are going to be talking about exactly how to calculate your calories and your macros and put them in MyFitnessPal for both cutting phases and a maintenance phase. So what you're going to need first of all is the Macro Made Easy guide, which you can get from my Instagram. You can get from my business Instagram, Full Fit Experience. You also may have gotten this from Facebook. Or if you don't yet have it, I'll put the link right below in this YouTube video so that you can download the guide. Definitely need this. And in this guide, I honestly teach you step by step already how to calculate your macros. You just have to read it very carefully and follow the instructions step by step and give yourself enough time to do that. But for learning purposes in this video, what I wanted to do is go through how I'm going to calculate my own, to just walk through it with you and give you that exact example. So once you have the guide open, just a couple things about what are macros, why should you track them? I think macro tracking is the best. I think it's the most fun way to diet or to cut calories for fat loss, or even maintenance or bulking calories, because it's not a meal plan. It doesn't get boring. You can eat different foods every day if you want to, and you don't have to eat foods that you dislike, and you don't have to cut out foods that you love. So I love macro tracking. It also helps you to pay attention to macros and their specific role, because each one does have a specific role. Protein, carbs, and fats are important in the body for their specific reason. So in this guide, we just have like a little bit further breakdown, but we're going to scroll down to the how to calculate your macros. So step one is we're going to go to this website to find our maintenance calories. Okay. Now I'm going to have like a sheet pulled up to show you guys where my numbers are going to be at. Okay. So it's tdeecalculator.net. TDEE basically just means your total daily energy expenditure. So finding your maintenance calories will help you to know that if you eat these amount of calories every day, you should not lose weight, you should not gain weight, you should just maintain. Okay. So for maintenance, if you're trying to lose weight, we know that we have to be in a little bit of a deficit from maintenance. So we're going to do my numbers. I am a female. I am 29. I weigh 128. I am 5'2", and I'm going to say that I do moderate exercise. Most people, guys, are going to be light or moderate. Sedentary is going to be like you're not moving at all right now. You're not exercising at all, which you probably are wanting to get into. But for most people, they're doing some form of exercise. A lot of people are going to the gym, multiple times per week. From what I've seen, heavy is going to be a little high on the calories for most people. So I really just like to toggle between light and moderate. I'm definitely moderate because I exercise quite frequently. No one that I have ever seen or worked with, the athlete calories have not made sense for anyone. It's very rare that it's going to be heavy. I like to use moderate or light for most people. So I'm going to do moderate for myself, and then not doing body fat. And so maintenance calories, just from my knowledge, I know that this is pretty dang accurate. So I'm just going to pull up some notes, and we're going to say that my maintenance is 1951, right? Cool. Okay. So if we go back to the guide, if we are trying to subtract calories in order to lose weight, we need to do that from our maintenance calories. So if you'd like to cut body weight, subtract 300 calories from maintenance. This is a number that I feel is a good starting point when cutting, right? So many people want to cut calories and make it like the craziest deficit. Cutting 800 calories, cutting 1,000 calories, that's a surefire way to burn yourself out and just not do this in a sustainable, safe way. So I'm going to recommend 300 calories. For some people, you could go up to 400 or go up to 500. I wouldn't recommend going more than that to start. Okay, this is just a starting point. For myself, I'm going to do 300. So if we open this back up, we know that my cutting calories will be 1651. Now to figure out the macros. Okay, so that was pretty simple, right? To figure out cutting calories and maintenance calories, you just have to use a calculator. And then we're going to go down here, and this is a little breakdown on, like, again, what macros are And then you're going to want to go to this table that shows you what to do for cutting and what to do for maintaining. So we're going to do the maintenance example first for me. I'm going to pull up this guy. Just want you guys to be able to see everything clearly. So we'll drag this over here a little bit. And then I'm also going to pull up my calculator because you are going to have to do a little bit of calculations. Okay, so for macros, we are going to look at protein, fats, and carbs for maintenance and for cutting. All right, so right here, it's going to tell us protein is going to be 1.1 gram per pound of body weight. For me, I'm 128 pounds, and then we're just going to multiply that by 1.1, and we get 140.8. For myself, I'm just going to round it down to 140. I could round it up to 141. Doesn't make that much of a difference either way. It's 1 gram, okay? For fats, body weight in pounds times 0.45. So 128 times 0.45. That is 57.6 grams of fat. I'm actually going to round up and go 58 grams of fat. Carbs. Okay, so this is where the math comes in even more. So you're going to divide your remaining calories by 4, and those are going to be the grams of carbs. It's basically the leftovers, okay? Now, we need to know how many calories we have in order to find the carb grams, okay, right? Because we know that 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So we can see here we have 140 grams of protein. So that's going to be times 4 calories equals 140 grams times 4 calories per gram is going to be 560 kcals from protein, okay? We know that we have 58 grams of fat, and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So we're going to multiply this by 9. 58 times 9 equals 522 kcals coming from fat. Now we're going to figure out the carb grams. So in order to do that, like I said, carbs are the leftover. So you're going to take your total calories of 1951 that you have allotted for maintenance, and you're going to subtract the calories from protein, and you're going to subtract the calories from fat. Those are your remaining calories. So we're going to get 869 kcals from carbs. Now, how many grams of carbs is that? Well, 4 calories per gram of carbs. So all you're going to do is divide that by 4, and we have 217 grams of carbs. Solid number. Okay. Right. So it's just a little, we have like a little bit of decimal points here. So let's just go through again and add everything up calories wise. 560 calories from protein, 522 calories from fat, and 869 calories from carbs is going to bring us to our 1951, just as we said here. Okay, so let's do the same exact thing for cutting real quick. You're just going to scroll down to where it says cutting, and we're going to have some slightly different calculations. Okay, so 1 gram of protein per gram of body weight for me is going to be 128. It's just, you know, your pounds and body weight per gram of protein. If it seems like a little too high with either of these guys, you could take this down to 1 or 0.9, but high protein diets have a lot of benefits. So keep that protein high as much as you can. Okay. So for me, it's just 128 grams of protein. For fats, it's going to be body weight times 0.4, right? It's a little bit less because maintenance is 0.45. So I'm going to go 128 times 0.4, which equals 51.2. I'm going to round it down to 51 grams of fat. And then we need to figure out the carbs in a second. So same thing we did up here, 128 grams of protein times 4 calories per gram. 128 times 4. Oops. 128 times 4 is 512 kcals coming from carbs. Sorry, so coming from protein. For fats, we're going to do the same thing we did above, and we're going to multiply the grams of fat times 9 to get 459 kcals from fat. And then we're going to do the same thing we did up here to find out the grams of carbs. Okay. So in order to find the remaining calories, we're going to take our cutting calories, which are 1651 cutting calories, right? That's the deficit of 300. And then we're going to minus the calories that we already have coming from protein. We're going to minus the calories that we already have coming from our fat. And that's going to be our remaining calories that are left over for carbohydrates. So we have 600 kcals coming from carbs. To find the grams, we're just going to divide that by 4, and that's 170 grams of carbs. Okay. Cool, guys. That is how to do it. Once you have these numbers, you're going to want to go to MyFitnessPal. You're going to want to download MyFitnessPal. And then the basic steps, guys, in order to put these into MyFitnessPal and start tracking your macros is you're just going to, first of all, decide if you're at maintenance or cutting. And then from MyFitnessPal, you're going to go to the settings category. You're going to click on goals. Then you're going to click on calorie, carb, protein, and fat goals. And you're going to input these exact numbers of macros that we've calculated for you. Now, you do have to pay MyFitnessPal in order to put in these exact grams. I do think that if you think you have longevity in macro tracking and this is something you want to continue and keep up, it is worth it to pay the $80 a year, I think it is, or like $19 a month for the premium version of MyFitnessPal. It's going to make your life easier. It's going to be more accurate as far as your macros go, and it has some other good features that make sense and I think is worth it. So guys, that's how you do it, right? We just got to figure out if we're at maintenance, if we're at cutting, and then we figure out our protein grams first, our fat grams second, and then we take the remaining calories for carbs and we divide that by 4 to get the grams of carbs, okay? So that's it. Hope this video was super helpful. If you guys have any questions at all, hit me up on Instagram at cmisty with 2 Y's, CMISTYY, and I will be glad to answer any questions additional that you have.